When you encounter a key error, there are a few standard ways to handle it. Depending on your use case, some of these solutions might be better than others. The ultimate goal is to stop unexpected key error exceptions from being raised. The usual solution is to use .get. If the key error is raised from a failed dictionary key lookup in your own code, you can use .get to return either the value found at the specified key or a default value. Taking the ages.py program again, you can use a better way this time to get the age from the dictionary using the key provided at the prompt. Here, line 5 shows you how you can get the age value from ages using .get. This will result in the age variable having the age value found in the dictionary for the key provided, or a default value, none in this case. This time you will not get a key error exception raised because of the use of the safer .get method to get the age rather than attempting to access the key directly. In this example, the key error is no longer raised when a bad key is provided. The key Michael is not found in the dictionary, but by using .get, we get a none returned rather than a raised key error. The age variable will either have the person's age found in the dictionary or the default value, which is none by default. You can also specify a different default value in the .get call by passing a second argument. You can see this in line 5 if we amend it using a different default age specified using .get. Here, instead of Michael returning none, it would return 0 because the key isn't found, and the default value to return is now 0. Another, albeit rare, solution is to check for keys. There are times when you need to determine the existence of a key in a dictionary. In these cases, using .get might not give you the correct information. Getting a none returned from a call to .get could mean that the key wasn't found or that the value at the key in the dictionary is actually none. With a dictionary or dictionary-like object, you can use the in operator to determine whether a key is in the mapping. This operator will return a Boolean true or false value, indicating whether the key is found in the dictionary. In this example, you're getting a response dictionary from calling an API. This response might have an error key value defined in the response, which would indicate that the response is in an error state. Here, there is a difference between checking to see if the error key exists in the response and getting a default value from the key. This is a rare case where what you're actually looking for is if the key is in the dictionary and not what the value at that key is. Lastly, a more general solution is to go with TryAccept. As with any exception, you can always use the TryAccept block to isolate the potential exception-raising code and provide a backup solution. You can use the TryAccept block in the ages.py program, but this time providing a default message to be printed should an error be raised in the normal case. Here you can see the normal case in the try block of printing the person's name and age. The backup case is in the accept block, where if a key error is raised in the normal case, then the backup case is to print a different message. The TryAccept block solution is also a great solution for other places that might not support .get or the in operator. It's also the best solution if the key error is being raised from another person's code. Here's an example using the zip file package again. This time the TryAccept block gives us a way to stop the key error exception from stopping the program. Since the zip file class does not provide .get like the dictionary does, you need to use the TryAccept solution. In this example, you don't have to know ahead of time what values are valid to pass to .get info.